Hey, friends. So excited you guys are here. Thanks for joining me. So, I just wanted to share with you guys some of my favorite meal prepping and planning tips and some tools that I like to use for meal planning and meal prepping that just really makes it a whole lot easier. So, first and foremost, I have to show you my favorite thing to use for meal prepping and meal planning is our food saver. This thing is amazing. This is the best investment we ever made. We picked this up at Costco a couple years ago. I know you can still get them at Costco, I think, but you can get them on Amazon. We've tried a couple different brands, but I really like the Food Saver brand um, sealer. It's the best. I will show you why. One thing, a little hack that I found out on Facebook, probably a couple of weeks ago. It's just my husband and I here, so we don't have kids. And we love avocados, but we can only eat so many at a time before they go bad. And I'd seen somebody do a hack where they had vacuum sealed avocados to keep them fresh. These avocados right here are literally 3 weeks old in the refrigerator, still sealed nice and tight. We're actually going to finish these off tonight. But we had another avocado we had put in the refrigerator we ate last weekend that had been in there for 2 weeks, and it was still perfect. It was perfectly ripe, not black, not bruised. It was amazing. It tasted just super fresh. I was checking these, the fresh, they really seemed to be. They're not overly soft. They do get just a little bit of a, I guess you would say, kind of a skin over the avocado itself, but it doesn't really interfere with it if you're going to put it on avocado toast, if you're going to make guacamole, something like that. It doesn't really interfere with that. So it's still a perfectly good avocado because anybody that eats avocados, we all know the struggle is real to have a good fresh avocado all the time. You get them from the grocery store, they're a little bit firm. You get up the next morning and they're already almost too ripe to eat. They just don't last very long. So that's the reason why when I saw the hack for putting them in a vacuum sealed bag, this is what I'm going to be doing from now on. When I find them on sale, I'm going to buy a few extras, vacuum seal them, and put them in the refrigerator and have those for whenever we need them. Another thing that we like to use for meal prepping is these containers right here. You'll have to forgive me, I can't find the lid to this one right at this moment. But so this little 2 compartment one or the 1 compartment um, little containers, these are freezer, refrigerator, and microwave safe. They are not oven safe because they're plastic. But these I like to use when I'm making and I have leftovers and I'm like, we're not going to eat this leftover right now. I'm going to stash this in the freezer for another day so I have a really easy dinner if I need it at some other point. So those are super nice. Another thing that I really recommend you do when you are meal planning or meal prepping is if you're going to take the time to cook something once, cook extra. That is one of the best tips that somebody a long time ago gave me that. So what I do is if I'm going to cook ground beef for something, say we're having tacos or we're having, spaghetti or we're having something with ground beef in it, I don't cook just 1 pound. I cook 2 pounds, 3 pounds, 5 pounds, whatever it is. If you can get a big package at Costco on sale or at the grocery store on sale, buy it and cook it. Cook the entire thing, lightly season it, salt and pepper, and that's it. Don't put anything else in it, just the salt and pepper. Then split it up into 1 pound bags. If you don't have a sealer like this Food Saver, just use freezer Ziploc bags. It's fine. Package those up, make a roughly a pound package or what you think would be a pound. Stick those in the freezer. And trust me, they are going to be your best friend. If you come home one night, even if you have a meal plan, you're going to come home sometimes. You're like, you know what? I don't even want to deal with this right now. I'm too tired to even think about it. I just need something quick. Don't run to the drive-through. Don't run to DoorDash or Grubhub or one of those places. They are just so expensive. And it's just so much cheaper to eat at home, to do the little bit of work, have the stuff in the freezer ready to go. So the ground beef, what I like to do with it after I've cooked it, after I've frozen it, um, I'll come home sometimes and I'm just not in the mood for whatever it is I had on the plan. So I will go grab that one of the bags of ground beef out of the freezer, bring it, put it in the skillet, a little bit of water, throw some taco seasoning in it. And the amount of time it takes you to reheat the ground beef and chop some lettuce and some tomatoes and get your little taco stuff together, you can have tacos on the table in no time because the meat's already been cooked. Same thing if you want to do some spaghetti. If it's just seasoned with salt and pepper, put it in the skillet, a little bit of water to, just kind of bring things back together. Put in your Italian seasoning, some fresh garlic, maybe add some extra onion into it or something if you want a little extra flavor. Put in your pasta sauce, whether it's a jarred, store-bought sauce, that's fine if that's all you do. If you can sauce, great, fantastic. That's amazing too. Whatever kind of pasta sauce you like to do, add that in with the ground beef. And the amount of time it takes you to cook the noodles, you can have pasta sauce and spaghetti on the table in no time because you did that little bit of extra work on the weekend or whatever day is your day off to plan and prep. Because you did that little bit of extra work, you're going to have several meals ready to go. I literally do the same thing with chicken. If I'm going to buy chicken in a big package, I'm not going to just take it and throw the whole thing in the freezer. Or I'm not going to just grab the bags and put a couple in there and throw them in the freezer. I'm going to put something in the bag with the chicken so that when I take it out for dinner, it's actually going to be marinating the meat as it's thawing out, which is going to be adding flavor to it. That way, it's got all day long to add all of that amazing flavor from whatever it is you're putting in it. Um, I do that, which is with all kinds of chicken breasts. I do it with pork chops. I do it with pork loin. I do it with roast when I bring them home. If I want to put some extra seasoning in something, I'm going to put it in a bag, either my vacuum seal or a Ziploc freezer bag, put that in it and stash it in the freezer. So when I thaw it out for meals, it's easy to use, super quick, and it's already been seasoned. You don't have to think about it. Another thing that I like to do when we are meal planning, when my husband and I are, we have a dry erase. I don't have it with me right this minute. We have a dry erase calendar that goes on our refrigerator, and we plan out our meals. And I like to do it for 2 weeks at a time at least. Sometimes I'll do it for a month, but we do our shopping on the weekend. We go get everything that we need. We have our list, and then I come home and I can look at my list and I can say, okay, well, we're going to have peppers a couple nights this week. So on Saturday, when we come back from the grocery store, I'm going to prep all of my peppers. I'm going to prep them, put them in a bag, have them in the fridge. So when I come home, or when we come, well, I used to work. I don't work anymore. I'm retired. I'm a retired chef after 11 years. But when I was working, I would come home and everything was already prepped and ready to go. Same with onions. Prep your onions ahead of time. Put them in a bag, put them in a vacuum sealed bag, put them in a container that's airtight so you don't have onion smell going all over in your fridge. But make the effort when you get your groceries to do a little bit of meal prepping to make your life so much easier, and it saves on your food budget. I mean, you wouldn't believe how much it saves on your food budget to spend that little bit of time and plan your meals out, have the things prepped and ready to go so that during the week with kids sporting activities and after school stuff they have going on and with people's crazy work schedules, it's so nice to be able to know, you know what, I've got dinner already planned. When I get home, it's going to go together quick. We can eat and we've got more time to spend together, which that should be your most important thing. You know, our most important part of meal planning and meal prepping is to maximize your time in the evening with your family so that you're not spending a ton of time in your kitchen, chopping and cooking and doing all that kind of stuff. Take one day and a couple of hours. One thing that I love to do when I'm prepping on the weekends, that's usually when I do it, is on Saturdays. So when I'm meal prepping, I love to turn on some good music, get myself in the mood. Just, you can just be in the kitchen, in the zone, and prepping away with everything, and the time just flies by. The other thing that we do, or that I do, is we have a small TV in our dining room, and I'll turn on a movie. I literally would turn on a movie and I'll watch a movie, or kind of watch a movie, kind of listen to a movie, and just have that as my background noise while I'm trying to prep. It just kind of keeps me focused, kind of keeps moving along, getting everything done. It's just a really, really easy way for you to stay focused on getting stuff prepped and not feel like it's such a major chore. Um, but I'm a firm believer in meal planning, meal prepping for saving on your food budget, saving on your time. Um, Nobody wants to be stressed. Nobody wants to come home at the end of a long day at work and have a bunch of stuff to prep when you get home. And that's where a lot of people get into trouble. And that's part of the reason why they use Grubhub and they use DoorDash and they use the drive-throughs so much during the week and even on the weekends, is because people are exhausted and nobody wants to stand in a kitchen and cook. So having the ability to prep a little bit a week is a huge, huge time saver for you, but it's also a huge money saver. I would challenge any of you watching this video to take 1 week, try it for 1 week, and just see what it saves you as far as time and money in your food budget, and allows you to do something different with that money, something that would be more meaningful to you. Maybe do it for a couple of months and say, you know what, we're going to commit to doing this for a few months. And the money that we would normally spend on Grubhub and DoorDash and the drive-throughs, we're going to take the money that we saved, we're going to put it away, and we're going to go on a trip. We're going to do something amazing with that extra money that we've saved. You would be surprised at how much money you can save by just doing a little bit of planning. And it's fun. Get your family involved. Get them involved in the planning process. What does everybody want for dinner next week? What sounds good? Let each person in the family pick a day and pick the one thing that they want to make or that they want to be on the menu that day. Get the kids in the kitchen to help you prep. There are so many things the kids can do in the kitchen to help you prep the meals for the next week. It teaches them some great skills that they're going to need to learn when they get out on their own. So it's an amazing thing to do. I trust me, my grandmother taught me how to do this, and I love doing it. I absolutely love doing it. It just saves so much time for me. Even though I'm retired now, I have a lot of things that I still do. I volunteer a lot, and I have a lot of other things that I do. So I don't want to have to spend all of my time in the kitchen. As much as I love to cook, I just don't want to be in the kitchen for 8 hours a day. I would rather do other things. So I like to have that prepped out, ready to go, so that when my husband gets home from work, we put dinner on the table quick, and we can have the evening to spend together, to watch a movie together, to just talk or whatever it is. But we're not just in the kitchen the entire evening. That is super important to me. Um, so as far as the meal planning part of it goes, there are any number of places that you can get really good recipes. If you don't have cookbooks, online is the best place to find those things. Pinterest is my favorite place. I spend a lot of time on Pinterest. So go to Pinterest and find some new things to try. Another thing to make meal planning fun is have theme nights. I know everybody does, Taco Tuesday, and if you don't want to do Taco Tuesday, do something else on Tuesday. Have, a Mediterranean night, do an Italian night, do a night where you try, Middle Eastern food or something like that. Do something to make the meal planning process interesting. Make it fun for the family. Maybe do a little bit of research and find some interesting facts that maybe you can discuss at the dinner table when you do a theme night for your food on your menu that week. Find something fun to discuss at the dinner table together. Have the conversation about something that just makes the time at the table that much more special and makes it that much better for everybody. So at Table Full of Joy, I do offer the service to help you meal plan, to do your grocery list, to help you with all of those things, to give you some guidance and some direction for that stuff. I will leave a link in this video, in the description. I'll leave a link down there for my website, and you guys can check it out. You can see what the service offers. If you have questions, feel free to leave these in the comments, or if you have other questions, you can leave those. You can send me an email or a text message through my website at tablefullofjoy.org. So I hope this has been a little bit helpful to you guys. I hope you guys have learned a little bit of something. But all I can say is give it a shot. Just try it for 1 week. Like I said, I challenge everybody that's watching this to try it for 1 week and see what a difference it makes in your time and in your budget, and see if it doesn't save you on both, because that's really the most important thing. Is your time is the most valuable thing that you have, is your time, and being able to spend time with your family, to spend time with the people that you love, and not be tied down to a kitchen if that's not where you want to be, unless you're like me, who wants to be in the kitchen all the time. So anyway, have a great day, everybody, and I will talk to you guys soon. Stay tuned for tomorrow. I am going to be sharing a video for an amazing pizza for football season, and tomorrow, go Ducks.